I'm not a morning person, but today I think it could be. Yeah, I'm getting a new TV today. See, our last TV, our Vizio 70-inch in our living room, we only had for a year and a half, and it's gone out. Well, not completely out, but the screen started turning black. I called Best Buy. I had a 2-year warranty on it, had 6 months left on it, took care of everything over the phone, took all my information, put me with tech support, I took a picture of it while I was on the phone with tech support, and they said, we can't replace that screen anymore, so we're just going to replace it. So at first they said, well, the deal is we replace it with another 70-inch. I was like, well, I don't want another 70-inch, and I don't want another Vizio. Because if it goes out in a year and a half and then you're going to replace it with something that you can't replace the screen with, if it happens again and I go through this whole process again, then I'm not having any part of it. How about if I upgrade? They said, okay, pick a TV and call us back. So I did, and I came up with a 75-inch Samsung, and it barely fit, but it's gonna look awesome. I'm so excited. Got 2 hours left until they're here. And it's gonna look beautiful. Here's where I have my TV going up. I've got it mounted. Took TV off the old mount, so at least I don't have to go through all of that. All I have to do is put the bracket on the back of the TV and hang her back up. And I shouldn't have much room to spare between each one of these shelves on each side, but when I designed this thing, I kind of cut them on the inside so I could slide bigger TVs in. So we'll see how close I can. But pretty excited. See you in a few minutes. TV's up. Now I just gotta hook up all the HDMI cables, the power cable,
Change the crookedness of the TV.
and adjust. And this is Holly being Holly. Not worried about it fitting. Nope, I'm not. So I finally got the TV installed and it looks beautiful. Actually, it looks better than the last TV as far as the fit being a little bit bigger, because I'm almost snug up against the shelves that I spaced out for the last TV, so I'm glad it did. However, the sound bar has got to be moved down, so I'll do that some other time, but for now I'm using the speakers from the TV, which are very good. I'm actually surprised. I'm almost on the fence of whether or not I should even put a sound bar back up there and just leave it alone. But we'll see how it goes for a little while. Setup wasn't bad. I read a lot of reviews that said the setup was a pain in the butt and it didn't work well and everything, but I didn't have any problems. I synced it with the Samsung account, I synced it with my phone, had no problems whatsoever, and I got the Bixby working, and of course it's a learning curve. You're gonna have to train Bixby to understand some of your commands and vice versa, because there's quite a few there to learn, but you get points like a game for learning Bixby's commands. So I'll play. During the installation and seeing the picture for the first time, my wife called me out on my first comment of saying, "Who needs anything better than this?" She reminded me that I said the same exact thing when I first got my Vizio 70-inch Ultra HD 4K television. At that point, I figured I hindered my chances of ever getting any more upgrades. What I was referring to was the OLEDs and the QLEDs, and the race just keeps on going. I'm old school, and I remember having a tube TV, just got color actually, and it had rabbit ears, and I had to hook up an adapter to put an Atari on it. The graphics were horrible, but that was the most update thing that I could get my hands on, and I was happy with that then. I was probably fooled because my old TV was fading and turning black and brown and looking fuzzy, and the new TV just looked absolutely amazing. Hoping it'll last a little bit longer than a year and a half. So far, it's already off to a much better start than the last one, just per the setup. Even though this TV was a little bit more expensive, I was able to justify it a little bit more because of my return to add towards a $2,000 TV, which when it first came out, it was $3,000. So kind of had to try to sell her on that, but she always says that we get what we pay for. And we've gone through vacuum cleaners, we've got, many of them, until we finally broke down and bought the one, and that would hopefully last us forever. I'm not doing a product review on my vacuum cleaner, by the way. Coffee makers, appliances, pretty much lawn equipment. Oh my gosh, I've gone through so many lawnmowers, gas grills, where they burn out. Finally we just got tired of purchasing all of those things when you could just go out and buy one nice one, spend the extra money. You're actually saving your money because you had spent so much on those other ones that collectively equaled one that would last you just as long as all of those. We're at that point now where we can just save up our money and buy something really nice, worthwhile. As I began my research, I not only checked Best Buy, but I just checked the models and makes of different TVs to see, if in fact what I'm getting at Best Buy is going to be a decent TV. So I went back to Best Buy, went through their website, found this one in comparison to price and quality, and knowing now that I have a little bit more money to put towards another TV, I could up my game a little bit. And this is the one I came up with, and I was very pleased and excited about this. Now, the back of the TV itself has these channel raceways. If you use monster cables or anything, out of the ordinary, and you don't have standard HDMI cables, they will not work in the channel raceways, but they would typically run right down, plug them into here, plug it into here, slide them down, go into the channel raceway, and out of the back of this little hole here. I in particular don't use the stand, and of course it's on my mount, so happy that I didn't have to use those channel raceways because they go straight to the mounting arm anyways, and down through the wall, down to the bottom of the entertainment center. So I have absolute hidden cables. Very pleased on how thin the TV was, very clean. I like the small bezels on it. I don't like big bezels. I don't think that anybody in this modern day likes big bezels on their TVs or their computer monitors anymore. That's just not a thing. Large bezels are out. Say no to bezels. And there you have it. And then it has a lot of product reviews, as Best Buy does, and installation videos on how to remove it from the box. And I know you probably looked at mine and said you cut the front of the box off. Well, I did that on purpose, so I had a sharp edge on the other side of that TV, and it was easier just to remove one side of it, mount my bracket onto the back of the TV, and then remove it from the box, so I wasn't going to set it directly on the floor. So even though there is a base of that stand, I just found it easier, and it'll be easier for me to get rid of the box when I'm done with it as well. Don't beat me up too bad about how I opened the box. Another thing I like to do is I like to go to the reviews. Now, this particular TV had very, very high reviews. It had a 4.8, which is higher than average on Best Buy's products. They're all very good, but you also get those that are going to get a broken item. You know what? We mass produce so many items in the consumer world, and I mean the world, that you're going to get a broken item. You're going to get a defective item. And they come in and write reviews on those things instead of letting you know that, hey, I contacted customer service and they sent me another one and I'm happy with the new one. They leave that part out. Or they get some that were expecting some
product details that weren't necessarily part of this actual product. So if you're looking for, 1,000 refresh rate on this TV, then it's not going to be there. But then people will still go on and write a review on why it doesn't do something. Well, it never said that it did in the first place, so I can't stand those reviews. If you filter past all of those and go to the actual consumer reviews and see some of the people's, not only positive comments, you want to just look for the positive comments, because those can be written by people that are paid to write positive comments, but you can filter out the real ones. And some of them will even make suggestions on what they did to make their TV better. In particular, there was one guy who wrote a review. Let me see if I can find him here. Yeah, this fellow here. He said, it's okay at first, and he's probably had a lot of experience with TVs, but this works best for him. So here's his settings, and he put each one of his individual settings on here so you could see if that works for you. And I love it when people make a suggestion to an issue instead of just bashing it or returning an item or just not saying anything at all. Numerous rave reviews. A lot of people, their reviews are based off of, like mine was, off of not only a broken TV or just an old TV. Well, I've had this TV since the 80s, and wow, what a difference, you think? Now, I'm not a big gamer, but the refresh rate on this thing is actually fantastic for gaming. I hooked up my Nintendo Switch, and not only did the TV detect that there was a Nintendo Switch connected to it, but it looked fantastic, and a refresh rate of 120 hertz was just unbelievable. Now apparently it upscales, called motion rate, enjoyed great motion quality during fast action moments. There was very little blur, if any, and I was pretty impressed with that. If you have an Xbox One, PlayStation 4 Pro, if you hook those up to this TV, it will definitely be very compatible and very motionless. One thing in particular I did have to have was 4 HDMI ports. I did run across a couple of TVs, which I won't even mention, that had 3 HDMI ports. I don't like using HDMI switches. If they're into the TV, built into the back of the TV, then by all means I'm going to use those. And I had 4 cables sticking out of the wall, and I just had to plug them back in. My favorite feature though was plugging in all of those cables to the back of the TV and it telling me what those items were. The DirecTV box, the Nintendo Switch box, my Apple TV, and my Blu-ray player. I was like, what? I really like the voice-activated remote control because I can tell it go to DirecTV or go to Apple TV. And it's got CEC, Consumer Electronic Control, where it'll reach out to that device and turn it on for you. So that's a really nice feature to have. One thing I do warn you to take a little bit of concern about is how heavy the TV is, because it's almost 80 pounds. So if you don't have the appropriate mounting hardware and you don't have it in at least 4 lag bolts in straight into studs, you shouldn't mount it on the wall, because this thing is a beast. And my other TV, my 70-inch, was about 8 pounds lighter. So it was pretty much prepared. Now the mount that I'm using is probably rated at about 130 pounds, so I'm not too concerned about it, but I'll keep checking back on it throughout time, not every day, but I'm not concerned about it falling off the wall, but I just want to make sure that I keep making sure that those lag bolts aren't moving, because of course you can't see those studs behind the drywall.
Well, I hope you liked my review on my new TV. We're very excited about it. I will be having a lot more tech reviews coming out on computer gaming equipment, and all the stuff that you saw in my setup video from my channel. I will be reviewing each and every one of those items. Hopefully help you make better decisions on some of the products that you may want or desire in the near future. Please subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification button as well, because I'm trying to upload at least 2 or 3 videos a week and try to keep up with the wave of YouTubers that are out there killing it. Hopefully one day I can too. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time. Out.